All right, guys, welcome. And we're again with Breakthrough 2020. Again, the mission of over the next 30 to 60 days is to take what I've been very blessed with, which is more than anything that I have, outside of God and family and my wife and my child, is really the circle of friends that I have. And the circle of friends that I have are full and chock full of entrepreneurs and people who have figured out a way to make themselves and create success for others. And so it's really cool today to have somebody that I admire, somebody that has been either at times, I know he's a phone call away from wisdom for me, Mr. AC Kantara. He's a leader, a servant leader in his household, in the community, and through his organization with IDLife. But and then also a couple of other ventures that he's always involved in. I mean, he's always got something cooking. But when I think of somebody that I can turn to, so I'll run an idea or a thought through. There's about 10 people that are my top 10 that I go to and I bounce ideas off of to then then formulate my next step. And AC's in that top 10. So with that being said, want to introduce them. Thank you for being a part of this. And really today is not about their business or anything of that nature. Today is about leadership, and today is about the entrepreneurial spirit. And I've always viewed you as just I don't know. I think at our office, we one of the things that I always say is there's a beauty of working with entrepreneurs. It's also a head scratcher because every time you call them, the plans change because there's something new and they're cooking something. So every time I talk to you, there's always something new in the pot, and I love to see it, and it inspires me and lifts me up. So give us a quick backdrop. Again, thanks for joining me today. But why don't you tell us a little bit about your story? We're excited to hear it.
Well, thanks for having me, Jason. And I know we've been friends for a while, and recently you became more and more part of our inner circle. And I want to thank you for inviting me to share my thoughts and, as you call, wisdom. And honestly, none of those wisdoms are mine. I've learned them from people that have accomplished more, done more, and done it way before I have. I just basically take it in and try to put it to good use. So again, thanks for including me in your group here. A little bit about me. I'm an immigrant, originally from Lebanon. Came here at age 17. Myself and one brother who's a chiropractor right now, my brother Hamid, and we came in with a couple $100 each. Matter of fact, we left with $200. By the time we made it here, it was way less. But there's no shortage of opportunities in this country. And the one thing that set this country apart from any other place I've been, and honestly, we could have went to any country on the globe. And one of the hardest places to go to was the United States. But it was one of those things that we knew it would be worth it. And we toughed it out. It was a challenge. And we came here legally. We came here to go to school. And we basically earned our way to basically become US citizens after a while. And again, there's no shortage of opportunities in this country, which is amazing versus a lot of other places my family has been or lived, including Lebanon. And you know what they say about opportunities. Opportunities are not lost, they're just taken by somebody else. Mm-hmm. And the reason, a lot of times when you and I talk and I'm working on something new, the next shiny object, even though that sounds bad, but again, there's no shortage of opportunities. A lot of times you got to change plans and tweak, and we keep the main thing, but there's no shortage of amazing opportunities, especially when you're surrounded by the right people. And which something I'm a big fan of is your inner circle will determine your success. Your team will determine your success. And one thing that I've learned early on is that if you want to climb Mount Everest, let's say your goal in life, whether it's success in business or you want to hike Mount Everest, you're not going to make it to the top of Mount Everest by yourself. You need a team, and you need the right team. And there's a lot of people that I've learned early on that I love and care for, but they may not be the right team member to help me achieve whatever goal I want to achieve. And again, if you're a sports fan, Tom Brady, if somebody says, hey, I want you on my team, but I want you to play lineman, well, he's not just in the wrong position, but that's not where he adds the most value, right? So creating that circle of right people, right teammates to help you get to your goals is always critical. And again, it's one of those things where success mountain is hard, is challenging, but you got to stick with it. And I think the people that reach that top of Mount Everest of whatever their goals are, You know, yours might be different than mine, obviously. Nobody ever makes it there by themselves. And nobody ever makes it there and looks around and says, you know what, that was easier than I thought. It always takes longer. It always costs more money. It's always more challenging. But the one thing that all the people that reach whatever their Mount Everest is, they will all tell you one thing, that it was worth it. And the key is not to blink. And I use that term a lot because the most talented people are not the ones that make it to the top. The ones that make it to the top are the ones that are more determined. The ones are not going to give up. The ones that are not going to get distracted with things. And some of those distractions, I've learned that sometimes they come within the people that are part of your circle that shouldn't be there. Mm-hmm. And people that they care for you, but they kind of set their own limitations on you. They try to talk you out of whatever your ambition is. And again, they're great people. They mean well for you. But there've been many times where I've took on endeavors where even family members would say something like, "Ooh, are you sure you want to do that?" You know, because they've seen people try it and fail. They might have tried it and failed themselves. But the key is, you know, once you lock into whatever your goal is, you can do other things too. But whatever your main goal is, don't blink. You know, as kids, we used to play that game where we just stare at each other and see who blinks first, right? And I have a picture here, and I keep it here because it reminds me when things sometimes get tough. And on every mission you take, there's challenges. So I have this picture, and I don't know if you can see. So this is me and my 10-year-old. Oh, yeah. And so him and I were doing the stare contest, see who blinks first. And of course, he's laughing, but I have it here because it's not just a special moment with my kid, but it also reminds me that the winner in life is the person that doesn't blink when others do. So the key is just stick with your goal. When you have distractions, when you have negativity, when you have people that don't believe in you, just don't blink. And I've been to, you know, training where I felt I was competing with other people because people have that attitude of competition. And I've always had this mindset: it's not me against them, it's me against me. It's me knowing that by the time we get to the top, they blinked and I haven't. And again, it's one of those things where even if I don't reach my ultimate goal, my failure to reach my ultimate goal would still be higher than everybody else's success, if that makes sense. The key, do not blink. So again, I hope that answers your initial question, Jason.
Yeah, no, it did. Absolutely. I think it was I pulled a couple of great things from there. So let's take a couple of those things and turn those into, you know, tactical action, right? How do I then leave the situation? We know, again, the purpose of why I wanted to get people together was to get somebody to move forward. Today, people are frozen. The lack of knowledge, the concerns that maybe they're, you know, anytime there's disruption, people pause. And then what ends up happening is they miss an opportunity. They miss an opportunity because the rest of the world maybe they blink, right? And so the idea is to get people to not blink, getting out of this deal. So one of the things that I heard you say was surrounding yourself with a better or an improved circle. Now, what if now I'd love to get your thoughts on this, because let's say I'm looking around my circle and I go, you know, my circle maybe isn't the right circle. Maybe they're not going to help me inspire myself to get better. Well, I think people think they have to, you know, if my circle is my circle, right? I'm stuck in my circle. How would one go and get out of their current circle and perhaps get into a new one, right? How would I start to increase or level up the people around me if I truly believed that I'm going to have better people around, or not better is the wrong word. I'm going to have people who want to inspire me to be great around me, but maybe like, where does one start when they want to do that?
You know, I love that question, Jason. And I've seen it many times, and I've done that mistake early on in my career where I was so attached and loyal to my circle that I wasn't able to upgrade the talent around me. And you look at your circle, and by the way, the circle of people that are going to help you there. So your circle of your business is different than the circle of your friends, right? And sometimes people just assume that's the same thing, and it's not. So my circle of people that are going to help me get to the top of Mount Everest, whatever my Mount Everest is, they may not be able to get me all the way to the top. They may only get me a third of the way. So I need to make a decision. You need to make decisions. Anybody who has a bold goal need to make a decision that on a regular basis you have to upgrade the talent around you. And if you're a sports fan, I mean, I refer to sports a lot because most people understand how it works. The best teams in the leagues are always bringing in new players and releasing players that are no longer add value at the level that the team needs to go. So you upgrade the talent around you, and you have to if you expect to grow. And again, this is one of those things. It's not about the personal relationship. It's about, and what I mean by that is, I love my brother, I love my wife, but I got to be able to upgrade the team. But you're cutting off a little bit.
Yeah, now we got you back.
All right. So where was I?
Yeah, you were saying you love your brother, you love your wife.
Yes, but they would not make a great team member if I'm climbing Mount Everest. And the reason is my wife is the type of person that hates the cold, right? My brother doesn't like heights, right? They're awesome people. I love them to death. But for that particular mission, they're not the right person. So don't pick inner circle people because of the personal relationship. Pick them because of the value they add to whatever your goal is. So they're two different things. So, but we have to make decisions. The entrepreneurs that can make those tough decisions to upgrade the talent around them without being dragged down by the emotions of the personal relationship are the ones who will break you to the next level. And honestly, that inner circle needs to be very dynamic, needs to always be changing and improving. And as you grow, you realize that those people that were part of your initial inner circle can no longer help you get to the next level. And that's a clear indication that it's time to upgrade.
So I want to remind folks too that if you don't know where to start, you could go as far as your Chamber of Commerce, real estate investment groups. You can go online. You can Google real estate networks in Houston. Usually you're going to come across places where they're entrepreneurs. You can get into group chats on Facebook and just sign up. And what you do is you follow somebody who's doing some things. And let me tell you right now, if you see somebody who looks like they're having success and you send them a note and you say, you look like you're having success. I'm not here to try to do anything other than improve my circle. I want to know successful people and what makes you successful. Trust me when I say this. A successful person wants to share their story. They love it. You will get a chance to have that conversation, and you'll start picking up people along the way, and your circle will start to grow. But you nailed it. If you're going to get there, it's a lonely road to Mount Everest on your own, right? It's a lonely climb by yourself. You need a team, and you don't have to go hire a team. There's people out there that want to serve and be leaders that just instinctively fall that way. You happen to do that through your organization with IDLife, but I know that you lead other people outside of that on a regular basis solely because it's just who you are. And that's kind of a characteristic of a lot of successful people.
So I'm going to add something you said, Jason. So that when you reach out to successful people, there's difference between success and significance. And a lot of times successful people become successful and then they realize it's empty. And not to burst somebody's bubble, but there's something that once you become successful, you realize you need to keep growing, and that's significance. So when you reach out to the successful people and you ask for either mentorship or just coffee with them, they want to do that, exactly what you said, because they've reached success now they want to get a taste of significance. And once they get a taste of significance, success is not enough. And that's why you see a lot of those people end up mentoring a lot of others. So yes, do reach out to people, and you'll be surprised how many they say yes. And those that are saying no, it's a clear indication that they haven't gotten to where they really need to be yet to really add value to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's shift gears as we start to kind of transition the show or this quick episode. If I'm thinking about moving forward, I'm thinking about something new. I'm thinking about whatever path it's going to be: real estate, direct sales, mortgage, financial advising. What are the key characteristics that you've observed from those people that you have seen? Because I know you've been in different, you've seen different leadership in different industries at different phases. There's some key things that I think are fundamentals that somebody needs to know, right? That says, this is what this journey's like, but here's the things that you have to hold on to. So if you had some last nuggets that somebody, if they were going to put their backpack on and head up the mountain, to success or significance, what things do they want in that backpack?
By the way, there's no shortage of things or pieces of that puzzle that people need. So there's a couple of things, and again, it may sound like a cliche, but to get to success, to do what you want to do is 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration, right? You got to be willing to do the work. We all get inspired, but are we willing to do the work? And two, be bold. Being bold is the biggest obstacle that people have a hard time breaking through. And I've met many people that are very, very gifted and talented, but they weren't bold enough to make that decision and take that leap forward and be willing to either start over learning something new or just taking chances. A good friend of mine shared with me, he showed it to me, he didn't give it to me. It's a coin from the SEALs, from the Navy SEALs. And the coin had a saying on it that I love, and it says, "Fortune favors the bold." Fortune favors the bold. You got to be able to be bold enough to make a decision and just go with it. Jump in first, and then figure out along the way. And you got to be able to put in the work. And again, the work is worth it. And that's why it's important for people sometimes have somebody encourage them to make that leap. So just start. Just start.
I love it. And that's a great thing, because I've interviewed a couple of folks today. The mission behind the show. So here's the thing. In the business realm, I've made content, created content. I have it edited. I clean it up. We put it out. I run it through my compliance team. So there's a lot of background noise that gets what I'm working on to associate with my brand, as the vice president of my firm. But that wasn't the purpose of this. This was something that when I saw the disruption happening, like we just had this little technical issue. Well, I'm not going to wait until I can figure out how to edit software to solve the technical problem. People just have to deal with it, because I'm not here to tell you that I figured out technology and I'm here to launch the best podcast or show on the planet. I'm just taking action on the simple fact that I believe in something, which is heart and helping. How do we take great information and great people and make them accessible to others so they can hear their story and take it to market so people can get value? Because I believe in my heart that there was a significant defining moment in AC Kantara's life that catapulted him to what made him. And I also believe people right now are getting broken down at some level. Something has disrupted them. Every time in our life, there's a significant level of disruption. And the last major economic one was in 2008. But everything from technological advances, everything that comes from that's a precursor or change to the way things are done happens in those opportunities. And a recent opportunity that just, in my mind, what we've experienced in the last 60 days is going to change the way things are done. People are going to do things differently at some level. And so because of that, I believe entrepreneurship gives you the capacity to excel or have an opportunity to shine in that. So when everyone's down and everyone's getting their teeth kicked in at some level, to some extent, they're disrupted. That's a great opportunity, because the field gets leveled. Everybody's starting to play. Everybody's concerned. Everybody might have a little stutter in their step. They might be starting to blink a bit. But now is your chance to jump, right? To take action, put yourself out there and do things. And so, AC, I think you're a great example of that. As I started going through my list, I wanted to meet 30 great people and bring their ideas and thought leadership to my network over the next 30 days. Right there at the top of my list, third person I'm talking to so far. And again, I want to thank you, first of all, for being a humble servant to your family. So you model the way for a lot of people watching y'all's experience. It's not canned. It's not part of your brand. That's who you are. You're a loving man who helps people get better and leads that in his household. So I've gotten to witness that firsthand. So I can sign off on you to say, hey, this is a great human being we're talking to and you're hearing from. Number two, you have had a successful track record in business. We didn't get into your other ventures today, but the reality is the behavior or the characteristics that you described. So I want to make sure our team or those listening leave today with some takeaways, which was what I heard, improve the talent or the people you have around you. If you're not where you want to be, go get better. Go get and seek information. And then I think you said tenacity, or that 99%, that work ethic.
Right.
Yeah. And when you have a passion, the work won't feel like work. It's just, it's beautiful when that happens, you know?
Correct. Hey,
Yeah,
can I piggyback on something you said, Jason?
Oh, please. Absolutely.
So right now, I mean, the challenging times gonna come and go, right? The biggest mistake people do, and you said, is when they pause because they're waiting for something to happen before they take any major action. So what I tell people all the time is, if you put me on the track to race against Usain Bolt, the fastest man on the globe, I can beat him if I start first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. In real life, there's no gun that says go. You can go whenever you decide I'm going to go. So right now, we're very intentional. My wife and I are very intentional about positioning ourselves and starting on that track. So when this thing passes, we're going to be way ahead of everybody else. And by the way, and we're telling everybody the same thing. Start now, getting ready for whatever your goals are. Don't wait. Because when the gun goes off, those same bolts of the world are going to be so far behind they're not going to catch you. You're going to position yourself ahead of everybody else. So pausing right now is not a smart idea for entrepreneur. And times like this, fake entrepreneurs are going to reveal themselves because they're going to be pausing. So whatever it is you're doing, do it and position yourself. So when the gun does go off and this thing passes, and it will, you're going to be way ahead of everybody else.
And I love that. I think that that's, I'm stealing that. That's going to be, I'm going to steal it from you and use that to help make some content on something else. Because that, you know, we get on the track, we all have the same odds, because in real life, there's no gun. So all I got to do is just start first. So be the first one to get after it. I love that. So AC, thank you. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your time today. And I look forward to seeing your continued success and seeing you help a ton of people grow their business and their success over the future. So appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, Jason. Take care.